On March 28th, I went to the New York Teen Authors Festival at the New York Public Library. The night was called Things Fall Apart, World Building and World Destroying in YA. The audience was a mix of 20-somethings and adults and teens, but I would say the majority were 20-somethings like myself. So there were 8 authors, and they were asked up on stage 2 at a time, and they read from their novels and then had a short discussion. The moderator asked them questions. So the first, John Scavron was first up with Anna Carey, and they were discussing, John Scavron wrote Misfits, and they were discussing the genre, and John Scavron says that, contrary to it being a pessimistic genre, it shines light on pure optimism, and the worst case scenario gives someone a chance to show their mettle. And then Sarah Beth Durst, who wrote Drink Slay Love, and Lisa Price, who wrote Starters, they were asked if their world or characters came first. Lisa Price says the world came first, and Sarah Beth Durst agreed and echoed, if you pick up my character and put them in a different novel, it would change them completely. And she calls setting its own character. Next was Anne Hetzel, who wrote Circle 9, and Lauren McLaughlin, who wrote Scored. They both agreed that character relationships are extremely central in their books, although they both played with relationships in different ways. Anne Hetzel has a series of friendships and relationships, whereas Lauren McLaughlin's book focuses on one extremely intense relationship between 2 characters. And then next was Andy Marino, who wrote Unison Spark, and Jeff Hirsch, who wrote The 11th Plague. They talked about drawing on their own childhood to create characters, and Andy said that teenage rebellion is timeless. Jeff Hirsch says that you can't help writing who you are or what you were like as a kid. They also asked what draws teens to dystopia. Andy says that they're drawn to the independence needed to survive in dystopia, and Jeff said that they're drawn to the darkness. He said that teenage years are passionate and intense times, so teens are drawn to heightened emotions. And then after the readings were done, I asked Anna Carey a question about her career. She wrote Eve because her career is similar to what I want to do. So she graduated from school, and then she got a job as an editor on the children's books at HarperCollins. And then she went back to school. She went to Brooklyn College for her MFA, and then she went back to HarperCollins, but as an author. And she published a series of chapter books, and then Eve is her first YA book. Then I asked if she could kind of explain how she went from working in the industry to being an author herself. And she said that working with authors gave her the courage to write herself, and that she wasn't really satisfied as an editor, so she was looking for something else. And she said working in HarperCollins also gave her the opportunity to meet her editors. And she said that it's rare, not everyone has this luxury, but she got a contract to write before she actually went back to school. So she said that doesn't happen usually, not everyone has that luxury, but it's definitely the way to go. And when I told her that's what I wanted to do, she said it was a really good idea. And after my question, someone asked an interesting question about how the authors deal with a political statement when they write, because obviously The Hunger Games is extremely political in its statement about reality television and competition. Sarah Beth Durst says that she doesn't think about her message at all, and she just writes an entertaining story and doesn't think about trying to make a point. And Andy says that he did try, because his is kind of a statement about Facebook. So he said that he tried, but it was kind of a precarious line. So he had to think about it. He had to kind of not offend people, but like entertain people and make it interesting. So he did think about it and said it was really difficult. Lauren McLaughlin's novel is about the line between freedom and then monitoring people too much, like watching their everyday lives. And she says she tries to seduce the counter-argument and kind of like reason on both sides, and then she likes to implicate the reader in the morality of the argument. So that was interesting to see how some people like Sarah Beth Durst don't think about it at all, whereas Andy and Lauren thought about it a lot. was very difficult.